Previously on Homeland.
We have to pick a new playbook. Is explicitly mentioned in the book.
If you feel that you no longer fit the direction or the path, as it were.
Your balance tips one way or the other, or whether it's a significant storytelling moment.
It's been coming for a while now.
What is now important to Khan?
You saw the value of a smaller, simpler family.
You've got 6 to choose from. The adamant, the bold, the icon, the idealist, the pillar, the prodigy.
I think I've made a decision.
Everything my family has done has led me here. Thank you for letting me forgive myself.
I'm settling towards idealist. It's fighting to protect something as opposed to fighting something.
Kana, no longer of Clan Hoshi.
And now,
We're going to go around the group and have your advancements from your growth points that you've got over the season so far. And some of you have made some interesting changes. And particularly, Ellen, with Kana, you've got some, because you're playing with a new playbook.
Oh, yeah.
It's some new stuff, right? That's what we've got. So,
some new, some old, some borrowed, some
blue.
blue.
Exactly. Your character has gone through significant change, significant advancement, and significant growth. But we're going to start with Sean. We're going to start with Phil.
Please
rather.
don't.
No, we're going to start with Phil. We're going to start with Phil because he's looking at me expectantly. And we're going to go with Zhang's advancement. How has he advanced?
So I've earned 2 advancement points over the course of the campaign. So I decided to spend them, one, bringing my focus up from -1 to 0.
Great.
I think that's thematic for him as his goal becomes closer and things become more serious. He loses that erraticness and becomes more singular in his focus. And the other one I decided to spend was unlocking 1 use of my moment of balance. And that reads...
Very good.
You can knock down every wall in the world, but balance isn't found in conquest and destruction. You know some walls need to stand to keep people safe. Tell the GM how you put yourself directly in the path of an inescapable threat to completely protect someone or something from harm. It's like a narrative coup de grace.
Yeah.
Which you can only use if you are at your current balance point.
It's a martyr action. Yeah. Great. Fantastic. And what are your stats, by the way? Just out of curiosity, what's your creativity, your focus, so on and so forth?
+1 creativity, 0 focus, 0 harmony, +2 passion.
Cool. Great. Let's go to Ellen and Kana.
Hello. So we're playing with a new playbook now. We have moved from the successor to the idealist. So I have kept one of my moves from the successor, which is a life of regret when you guide and comfort an NPC by apologizing and promising to make amends. Roll with focus instead of harmony, which I thought made sense. And I haven't heretofore been able to use it still as the successor. So I'm keeping it around. And I chose a new move from my new playbook, which is Your Rules Stink. When you stand up... Yes,
it does.
It's funny.
It's a personal
you can
attack.
Laugh. When you stand up to an adult by telling them their rules are stupid, roll with passion. On a hit, they are surprised by your argument. They must shift their balance or offer you a way forward past the rules, which I thought was cool and very Avatar-esque. But I've got some new things. Now I have a code that I live by. I've chosen 3 ideals. Kana will always stand up to bullies, always keep her promises, and never leave a friend behind. I can also plead with allies, which is a kind of resource that I have now. As for fighting techniques, it's the same. I kept it the same. I didn't have enough to get anything fancy or new. And my stats as of right now, I've got a +1 in creativity, a +2 in focus, -1 in harmony, and +2 in passion.
Great. Let's go to Clove with Zola.
Cool. So I had 3 advancements and I decided to spend them all.
A big spender.
This is like Zola talking. Like I wanna like max Clove out. So I took 2 stats. So I increased my creativity from -1 to 0. And I also increased my harmony from 0 to +1. So my stats are now 0 on creativity, a +3 to focus, +1 to harmony, and a +1 to passion. And I also took a new move. I took it from not my playbook. I actually can't remember which playbook it's from. But I took taking care of business. So when you lose your balance in a battle, instead of choosing one of the normal options, instead I can sacrifice myself for my companions. So your friends have a chance to get away or get an advantage, and I get to choose one of them, which is I can leave a clue for them to follow. I can throw them a valuable object, or I can provoke my opponent or our opponent, shifting their balance too. And to do that, I get taken out of the battle.
Yeah, I'm going to have to save you.
Yeah, and I'll also go through the new fighting technique that me and Tariq unlocked.
Yeah,
Ooh, yes.
please.
So we have called it Refresh. We can only use it together. And it's an evade and observe maneuver. It's a learned skill because we've not used it in battle yet, even though we have used it. And that is where we apply mud to reinvigorate and close wounds. We mark 1 fatigue each and heal someone who is evading and observing. And they get to, like the person who we're healing gets to clear an appropriate status and either clear 3 fatigue or 2 conditions.
Great. Yes.
Yes.
And from a rolling perspective, because both of you would have to roll for it, the advantage of both of you doing it is you take the highest of the 2 rolls.
Oh, great.
Fantastic.
Right, just to clear that up, right? Usually, this is a custom rule that we've just kind of made on the spot. It seemed narratively appropriate.
Yeah.
So, like, to advantage the 2 of you sacrificing an action, whereas one of you normally would just be able to do it.
Yeah.
To kind of like balance that, or to make it like turn efficient, both of you roll, and even if one of you whiffs and the other one passes, then it passes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's both of us sacrificing a turn to do this together, so it balances out.
That's right. That's right. It's turn economy.
It's about efficiency. Sean put in a laugh track.
Speaking of Sean and speaking of Tariq, tell us what advancements you took.
Well, Tariq's going to take over for this one. It's not going to be Sean talking.
Okay.
So what I decided to do, right, is I took 3 growth points. I'm going to use all of them. So the first thing that I did is I'm adding a +1 to my focus. So I've gone from 0 to 1. For those playing along at home, that's creativity +2. I'm really good. Focus +1, passion +1. Harmony not so good at a -1, actually. So I had 2 more left. I decided I was going to take an action from my playbook as well as an action from another playbook. So first of all, the action from the other playbook, give me a moment here. It's called This Was a Victory. So when you reveal that you sabotaged a building, a device, or a vehicle, right as it becomes relevant. So it's kind of like a Blades in the Dark kind of thing. So you could be like, oh, I did this, whoa! But then I got to roll for it. So when I roll for it, I mark a fatigue and I roll with passion, which remember is the +1. So if I do it on a 10, it creates an opportunity, which, kind of helps out, which is really good. If I do a 7 to 9, it does work, but it's very, 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 very quick, and I have to act fast in order to avoid the consequences. But if I miss, there are consequences. And it means that someone or something is hurt as collateral. So, it would be a bit of a bummer if that happened. So it's a risky... But also, I decided to take a move from my playbook. Now, I thought that, in the past, I've been using a lot of evade and don't rub your eyes at me.
It's very early in the morning, Sean. I'm waking up.
Instead of doing evade and observe like I have been for the first half of the season, now, Tariq has a bit to lose. He's gained some things that he really cares about. So, maybe he becomes more of a...
I'm not an object.
I meant my humor. I need to maintain it. I'm troubled, by the way. Sorry. So, Slippery Eel Hound, because he's going to be doing a lot more defending and maneuvering now. He's getting more into the battle. So, this is called Slippery Eel Hound. When you defend a maneuver and choose to use Seize a Position to escape the scene, foes must mark an additional 2 fatigue to stop you, and you may bring any allies within reach when you retreat.
Very cool.
I thought it was cool.
Tariq, are you Deadpool now? How are
Yeah.
you able to break the 4th wall?
Sorry, Sean, you can take over. Okay, guys, let's do this.
All right. Very
Fragile reality of our world, our podcast has been ruined.
good. Well,
Or
let's
made
get
better.
into the story, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. As a refresh, you've just told the masked lady, whose name Dayu, to take a hike, effectively.
Take a hike.
Take a hike.
Yeah, I
Get
said,
out of here.
jog on.
Get lost.
You weren't interested in taking her under your belt or anything like that, taking her in the
No.
fold.
Learning
and
whatever she had to say or impart. Who knows?
who knows? You don't.
No, I'm sure Chris probably does,
Yeah,
but
Chris
I
does.
don't, and I never will.
And you rest, and you begin on your way, leaving the couple who you healed and learnt from together.
Ellen, what are your new balance things that your character's now going to be torn
thank
between?
you.
A very good question. Yes, so
Useful for us to know so we can try and test you on it.
Yeah.
before I was rolling, I was between tradition and progress as the successor. But now, as the idealist, I am between forgiveness and action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Forgiveness
that
and
makes
action.
total sense to
Yeah.
where Kana's at.
Yeah.
That fits so well.
It
Yeah.
feels good.
You did a
I
good job
feel
picking.
nice.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good decision.
Thank you.
We're going to, as the day begins, we're going to just have a couple of housekeeping rules and things like that. But before we do, I do want to know where everyone is on their balance track. So let's start with Kana.
Zero. I'm at a perfect balance now.
Just to remind us.
Between forgiveness and action.
Very good. And then Zhang.
So Zhang's center is +1 force, -1 care, and he's beginning at that center.
Okay. And Ellen, sorry, just to be clear, Kana is also beginning there. You're not starting your day one way or the other.
Oh, actually, yeah, I've got a new balance, but I think Kana will start the day with a +1 to action.
Great. Let's go to Tariq.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to start at a +1 on friendship.
So your center is still 0.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, I'm still good.
You haven't shifted. Okay.
No, the
worries.
only people that have gone over, I believe, has been you two.
Kana and Zhang.
Kana and Zhang.
Yeah, my center's not shifted.
Great.
Woo, off balance, buddies.
And you're starting a center, or you like to shift yourself?
I think I'm going to start +1 to trust.
Okay, great.
Are we going to do my protector's
Yes,
burden
we're about
now?
to do that right now.
Amazing.
So we ask a bunch of questions about your ward and your relationship there. So let's start with those questions.
Yeah, cool. Do you believe your ward listens to you more often than not? I think I'm still gonna say yes. I feel like our last session kind of, Clove did take the lead in a way, and I think Zhang did kind of respect her decision.
I would say no.
Shut down.
The reason is that Zhang sought to take guidance, respect, training, authority from a person outside of the group rather than first coming to you.
Yep, totally.
If that's a fair
No,
kind
I
of
don't think
delineation.
so. And it felt kind of like, to be honest, like even when I was saying it, it felt kind of like a weak connection because like that, the moment I was thinking of where Clove was like, right, we got to do this and this and this, and everyone kind of followed. Like that was very rushed in the moment, and it wasn't a huge plot point.
I think he listens to you as much as he does anyone else in the group.
Yeah,
But not
totally.
especially
Not more
you.
often than not.
Yeah.
Not to throw a spanner in the works, but I do have down in my notes that Clove called out Zhang to act as more of a leader. I don't know if that does anything.
That's fair. That did happen. That did happen in the most when you were trudging your way through the snow. As I recall, it has been a while between sessions. Dear
Yeah.
listener.
If it doesn't work, disregard that. I just know
do you
that
mind reading the question again?
Do you believe your ward listens to you more often than not?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'd say yes then.
Cool.
Yeah. I would say yes.
Not openly defying you
no,
on a regular
no,
basis.
No,
yeah.
absolutely not.
No, it's not like back in Irontown where we had that big fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. Have you recently protected them or helped them with a problem? I'm going to say no.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
And then is there an immediate threat to your ward that you're aware of? This one's always so hard because it's like, yes.
We are in war, but yeah.
Immediate threat?
I'd say
I'm going to
no.
say no.
No.
Yeah.
It's that night where we're like, okay, we eliminated the threat. We're good.
Yeah, cool. So I get a +1 to my roll.
Yeah, and you roll 2d6.
So that is an 8. So I have 9, which means I have 1 hold on Zhang for this session. And that means that I can spend a hold to take a +10 without rolling on any move to defend him. Or I can track him down even if he's hiding or avoiding me. Or I can figure out what he's up to without him knowing.
Correct. A power that I'm sure you'll use responsibly.
Wisely. Clover's probably more responsible than Zola, so yes.
I mean, as we get closer to Zhang's adversary, his willingness to go off
Yeah.
half-cocked might be...
Yeah, I'm really glad I never changed from you.
Yeah.
Like,
You need taken care of.
Yeah, now
Yes.
at this pointy end, it wouldn't make sense for anyone else to be my ward.
It's been a struggle. You've held the relationship just together,
Yeah.
which I think has been the story of this season in part.
yeah.
How are people with conditions? Because I'm still troubled. Tariq is still very much troubled, and that's a holdover from getting Jean Grade out of the sky by Kana.
My bad.
I'm
Yes.
also
Sorry.
still troubled.
you two are troubled.
I'm
Yeah.
troubled and afraid.
Okay.
I'm good.
I have no conditions.
And you two have no conditions. So
I'm super
Clove
good.
is
You're
troubled and
flying high.
afraid. Tariq is troubled.
Yes.
And the other two are totally fine.
Yeah. For the most unbalanced, we've been able to skirt through with no conditions
Well,
to our name.
I think that like respects the kind of tone of the game in that by going off balance, by like
Yes.
being like taken by the whims of your like outer like edges.
Yeah.
By being
you
dragged.
you became unhinged for a bit. Now you feel great.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you had those moments of catharsis. Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
You clear your conditions when that happens, so it's all good. You begin in the morning. It is that sort of snow is turning to mud, and the going is a little bit tough. But you begin making your way towards what you believe is the final destination that you hope to catch Bashira, Nanako, and stop, or at least temporarily hold the Fire Nation's plans. That they intend to siege Ba Sing Se, and they intend to do it as a launching place, potentially from Gai Pan Village.
That's right. That's right.
Now, as you wander along, you see the leaves are slightly coming off the trees now. The autumn or the fall is turning into its deeper season. It's nearing towards winter. It is getting colder and colder.
Not used to this.
How are you going with no shoes, Kana?
I mean, I don't really feel much on my feet anyway, but I wish I had taken some thicker robes when I was trying to stay undercover. These are not really weatherproof.
Does it ever get cold like this in the Fire Nation?
Not where I come from, but then again, I've never really been outside of big walls and large cities before, so there could have been all of this just outside of my window. Who knows?
And I think at the same time, Tariq will kind of be maybe like ahead with Zhang as they're walking up.
Boy talk.
So did you learn any cool fighting stuff? I saw you were like, I don't know. Like I saw you were just kind of like, with the old man a lot. Any pearls of wisdom, as it were.
Zhang is just going to twirl his dragon glaive a few times and then stop it short of Tariq.
Tariq's jugular.
Yeah, like near his neck. Like not totally threatening.
Yeah.
How's that?
Whoa, that was dangerous. Yeah,
Well, where we're heading is dangerous.
that's true. Just make sure you point it maybe more towards them and less towards me, if that's cool.
I know what I'm doing.
Great.
Do you think they're fighting or just playing?
No, I think Zhang's just showing off. We're good.
They do that a lot, don't they? Boys?
Yeah, especially those two.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
Stop dawdling, you two. We need to make good progress today.
Zhang, calm down. We're like a meter behind you.
Also, you're twirling your glaive like it's a big toy.
It's not a toy.
Why are you treating it like one then?
Clove.
This is a rare technique learned from a veteran of the Earth Kingdom army.
All right, wow.
I don't
good
think
for
any of you... Didn't we just talk about the seriousness of our situation?
Yeah, I know this is serious. That's why I'm saying you shouldn't be twirling it around and you shouldn't be yelling at us.
Not yelling. I'm leading.
Tariq takes a step to the side.
I think Carter might actually just laugh. Like, it's a weird situation where we were kind of like teasing Zhang, and now she's not sure like if it's still part of the teasing, and like the more that he says like this is serious, she's just kind of like this new burst of lightness that has come from her leaving her past behind is just kind of, she's got the sillies.
Yeah, I think like genuinely as well, like Clover's like really happy and she's just like, not why are we doing this? Obviously she's still very focused on this, but sometimes I think she's feeling like Zhang is being a bit ridiculous.
It's just the two.
We're marching into the heart of enemy territory.
I know, and you being so serious doesn't change that. We all know what we're doing. We're all here. We've been here the whole time with you. Like,
I'm sorry. It's just, I don't know why I keep laughing. I'm just gonna like clutch Clove and just like almost like bent over.
Clove is laughing with her now.
Do you know who laughs? Bashira. When he destroys the soldiers of the Earth Kingdom. And he'll laugh as he captures us and throws us in cages.
I think we've been doing a really great job. I think for the four of us, our age, I think what we're doing is amazing. And I just don't think we should underestimate ourselves. And I just don't think that we need to be marred down in seriousness. What we've achieved is amazing. Let's keep going. I can't deal with you right now.
Okay, cool. I'm going to ask you to guide and comfort as an action. What you're doing is kind of correcting him onto the path, right?
You
aren't calling him out on care. You aren't calling him out on force. You aren't aligning a principle. You're going, look, I recognize what you're saying, but you need to like acknowledge that the rest of us are dealing with this the way we are. So I'm going to say that's a guide and comfort action.
I think you're right. Yeah, cool.
I wish my move applied to.
Oh, and I'm going to roll.
Characters.
I'm so glad I gave myself that +1 to harmony. Cool.
Which move, Ellen? Sorry.
Oh, a life of regret.
Oh, sure.
Because I was like, I really want to use it now, but it's only NPCs.
Also, side note, Mard is an amazing word.
It's a good word, isn't it?
Good word.
Yeah, good
Mard.
word.
Did I say that?
You did.
Look at me go. Okay, so I got a 7, and then my new +1 to harmony pushes that up to an 8.
Yep.
So I believe that is a hit.
It is a hit. They can do one of the following. They can embrace your guidance, they may clear a condition or 2 fatigue, and you may ask one question honestly, they have to answer, honestly rather, or they shut you down. You pick, Phil. They inflict a condition on you, and you shift their balance in response. What would you like to do, Phil?
Well, I'm still carrying a fatigue around.
Yeah.
So I think I'll let those words kind of lighten him slightly.
Sure. You accept that guidance and comfort.
You're right. We've done a lot, and I know you're with me. I know you're all with me. I guess I'm just scared and thinking ahead to what it is we're going to do. Once we find the army, how are we going to sabotage them? How are we going to get to Bashira? And I guess I let that get the better of me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Zhang, I know you. We've been together for so long. You're so good at what you do. But you need to trust us. And you need
I do trust you.
I know you also need to trust yourself, though. Do you trust yourself? That's my question that you have to answer honestly.
Oh, that's a good one.
Not yet.
Well, we trust you. We're with you.
I just don't know if I'm strong enough. Bashira is a mighty general, and there's a whole army behind him.
For what it's worth, Zhang, strength comes in lots of different ways. And do you know what the Fire Nation doesn't have? They don't have this. I'm just going to motion to us. They don't have laughter. There isn't creativity. There isn't harmony. There is passion, but it's just about striking down. We have an opportunity to build up.
I think if we're smart about how we approach this, we can take them by surprise.
Yeah. We just have to play to our strengths. And then Clove's going to like punch him in the shoulder and be like, back up, and like walk ahead, like she strides ahead and she's like now leading the group.
He's surprisingly like wiry. Like you thump him and it's just like dunk. he's trained.
Yeah. As we're walking forward, you just hear like trailing after, "Hey guys, am I funny?"
I think that might also inspire a fit of giggles
The
from
laughter
Kana.
that follows it doesn't answer the question, but it does resolve the scene. Zola, can I have a look at what your balance is at the moment?
I'm +1 to trust.
Okay, I'm going to move you to +2.
Awesome.
Yeah!
You're gonna trust so hard.
I love you guys.
Your underpinning concept was hey, I trust you, so that's I'm just making that movement there.
Yeah, no, I think that's right.
We're late into the season. I'm playing a little fast and loose with rules, but whatever.
You're allowed to shift.
I am allowed to shift, but I'm just moving. What I mean is I'm moving fast with them.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just calling it.
I want you to. I've not shifted off balance, and I want to.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Zola's seen how fun it is.
So you are, from what you've observed, from what you know, the lay of the land, from what you've been told, from maps and from the conversations you've had with people about the distance of Gaipan village, it should be just over this cliff face. It lays in a valley, this village, and it is a village that has been built after a dam was built on a river. So it lays directly on land that was once part of a river and has been a dam has been built there. You are about 2 or 3 hours walk, let's say 3 hours walk from the village, when you hear in the forests a rustle.
Wait,
What?
I hear something.
Huh?
Clover's ahead. She doesn't hear either what Zhang says or the rustle. She's kind of just walking.
Yeah.
She hears that and turns back.
What do you hear?
Someone moving. Be ready.
I mean, last time this happened, that one popped out over here, so it might just be another Kana, really.
Could just be an animal. Wait. I'll creep ahead. I'm going to try and assess what's happening.
Yeah, please roll assess.
So Zhang creeps off the trail, and I roll... Got a 6, +1 creativity makes a 7, so it's a hit.
Yeah.
You ask a question.
What here can I use to remain concealed while I discover the source of the sound?
Okay, that's a great question. What I'm going to say is that the best way to hide from whatever is observing you or whatever is out there is to get off the trail. You're kind of walking through a forest and you're picking your way through.
Yeah.
You're picking your way through in the most obvious way, where there is not a lot of underbrush. There are not small shrubs or anything like that. That leads to kind of it's an obvious kind of it's not a worn trail, but it is if you were to look through a forest, you would see it as the most obvious place to be.
So what can we use to conceal ourselves? Is there some underbrush?
There's
or...
underbrush to the left and right of you, diving into it, even though that might be where these people are, or whatever it is there, is going to make it so that it's a little more cat and mousey. You'll turn the tables rather than it being them
Just
looking
discovered,
in.
yeah.
Exactly.
It could be a patrol off the trail.
Okay. Do we stay together?
Yes, together into the brush.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
You dive into the underbrush.
Yeah.
How was that looking?
It's going to be a flourishing leap, very kind of just leaping in the air, head and arms first into a bush.
I see it as quite cartoonish. The
Yeah.
four whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah,
They sort of
yeah.
all kind of dive over, and a few leaves pop out
Yeah,
as
you
they
just see
dive in.
the eyes popping out through the underbrush, just dart looking left to right.
Okay.
Like Tariq kind of lifting up, maybe having a little few leaves on the top of his head as his head kind of pops up.
Jang just his hand reaches out and brings him
Puts
to
it down.
lower.
Oh, your elbow is in my side.
That's not my elbow.
You could hear us.
As you're kind of low to the ground, 2 of you are looking away from the trail or the path that you've just come from, and 2 of you are looking onto that trail as a kind of way of looking both left and right.
Right, yeah.
Who's looking to the outside?
I'm looking away.
You're looking away from the trail?
I think I would be looking towards
I'll look
Great.
away with Clove.
I'll
Okay.
watch the trail.
Yeah.
Okay, the 2 of you who are looking towards the trail, which is
Zhang and Kana.
Zhang and Kana, you see people emerge from the other side of the path, other side of where the path would, forest, and step onto the path that you were just on.
What do they look like?
They are dressed in kind of cotton white. They're bandaged from the wrist all the way up to the bicep. It's they've got the shoulder movement that's not strapped, but the rest of the arm, including the elbow, is strapped.
Like a fighter, like a
Yeah.
Thai
Like
boxer?
a kickboxer
Yeah, okay.
type fighter.
Yeah.
And they have what looks like little bits of leather on their knees. They seem to be ready for a fight. But who they're like aligned with in terms of like a nation, it's impossible to tell. These are just people.
Do Clove and I see anything on our side?
You don't see anything on your side just yet.
I think Kana will just make eye contact with Zhang and just like point to the figures that have just emerged onto the track and just kind of back to him a shrug, since they're not Fire Nation.
They're not Earth Kingdom, so he shakes his head back.
She might make a gesture of just walking away. Do we just go further into the brush?
Or do we follow them?
What are we doing, Zhang? They look like they're ready for a fight, but we don't know whose side they're on. We could just keep heading towards Gaipan.
If they were Fire Nation, they'd be brazen. They have taken control of this part of the country. What if there's some sort of resistance? I think we should follow them and see what they're up to.
Do Clove and I know, like, have you done it specifically that we don't notice what's on the other side, or do Clove and I notice these two people?
I'll leave that up to you, the two other players. If they choose to like clue you in,
Cool.
then yes. Otherwise, it's you two cozied up to each other, looking the other way.
Yeah,
and I
cool,
think that
cool,
we're
cool.
potentially a little distracted as well.
I think
Stop
if-
canoodling.
So if they choose to like clue you into that scene, if it becomes a 4-person scene, that's fine.
Great. Otherwise,
But
we'll just
otherwise,
leave it.
it's just the two of them.
yeah.
I'm happy for you to make the call, Zhang.
I think we should follow them. Clove. Tariq.
Huh?
Look, on the path.
I was looking. What? Huh?
Shh, shh. I'm just going to put my hand right on Tariq's face.
Shh, be quiet. There's people out there. We think we're going to follow them to see where they're going.
They're not Fire Nation. I'm hoping there's some kind of Earth Kingdom resistance.
They're not wearing any Earth Kingdom armor.
Well, maybe that's so they don't get immediately identified.
You could say the same about the Fire Nation then. Tariq, why are you so loud?
Maybe I'm clamping onto his actual lips at this point.
It's very casual, like quiet conversation, but you've still got a hold of his lips
Yeah.
at the moment, so he's just trying to say something.
What are they doing?
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm going to let the conversation go first. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'll release Tariq's lips.
So what exactly do we do once we follow them? What are we looking for?
Well, maybe they have a hideout. Or maybe they are, they have a way into Gaipan.
Guerrilla fighters that we could get to help us,
I've never seen animal fighting before.
No.
All right, Zhang, if that's what you think we should do, let's do it.
We'll act once we know more.
Okay.
You hear one of them say, could have sworn I saw kids out here. What? I could have sworn I saw kids out here. Why would there be kids out here? Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Like, why would there be kids out here? That's what I'm asking you. Why would there be kids out here? Yeah, that's why I'm looking.
These the bucket guys.
I mean, you're rubbish at patrol. You know that, right? No one wants to be with you on patrol. Hey, buddy, just like lay off, okay? First time on patrol, okay? This is not your first time on patrol. This is like 8 or 9, and every time you go on patrol, you get lost. Look, I thought I saw a bear. There's no such thing as bears. There are platypus bears, but there's no such thing as a bear. That's silly. No, I swore I saw... And the conversation fades away as they walk away from you in the direction that you were heading along that path, having a kind of amicable discussion
Sorry.
as one guy gets roasted by the other.
Along the main road or along this path?
Along this path.
Right,
Yeah.
that
can still
Zhang
be
was starting
hidden.
to follow
You're
along.
still in the forest?
Can we follow them from, like, the way it's set out? Can we follow
Yeah.
them from within the forest, like, still
Absolutely.
being adjacent?
Yeah.
You are, for all intents and purposes, able to follow along without giving up your disguise.
So Tariq is going to literally take a whole bunch of the shrubbery with him and, like, follow along as a walking shrub without saying anything. He just like lifts it up with him and starts trotting along.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna
I
move
would
through
like
the
Wrestling
brush.
away.
I would like to... So we can track them without any kind of roll or anything. It's just
Correcto.
narrative?
Narrative.
Okay. So I'm going to ignore that. You can be at the back of the group.
Oh no, he went first. That's what I'm saying. He's like, he's not. It's the foolhardy stuff
Yeah.
that a rogue will do. Is just like act without telling
Yeah,
the party.
absolutely. I love it.
The rest of us are just walking behind.
Yeah, we're just kind of keeping them in earshot.
I kind of like the idea of the bush leading the way.
Yeah.
And occasionally, like, they'll stop.
And he'll just drop.
Yeah.
The three of you hide behind the bush.
Yeah.
They look around. Hey, I think that bush is following us. Don't be stupid. A, bushes can't follow us. B, don't be stupid. Don't talk to me the rest of the walk, the rest of this patrol. I'm done with you. Oh man.
I feel bad. This
so
patrol's
sad.
doing a really good job. He saw the
He's
children.
right.
He's noticed the bush.
He's
doing
very
his
observant.
Yeah.
He's doing great.
Yeah, I hope he's on our
Gaslighting out
side.
here.
Yeah.
The kind of like them walking forward, the bush getting up, moving along, and then dropping back down, and you collectively moving happens for a little bit longer. Happens for about 20 more minutes.
Great.
Before it opens out, you see the forest kind of clear in front of you, and what looks like a small field with 5 or 6 tents set up. It looks like a militia or like a emergency kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Field
here?
camp.
Field camp. Thank you, Phil. A field camp.
A field camp.
Hey, a field camp. There aren't any flags flying, nothing that identifies what side they're on. However, as the two get to the edge of that field,
The tree line.
yeah, the deeper voiced man says to the other one, for a guy who says he wants to serve the Earth Kingdom, you talk way too much. Learn to be still. No. Stillness. Focus. This is our home. It's not a game. And he walks back to...
I'm going to look at Tariq.
walks to the...
Too bad you're just looking at a bush.
the bush does not look back. So, the gruff guy walks to the larger of the tents, and the other guy, who looks now, you recognize a little younger, slumps his shoulders and walks around the perimeter, kind of kicking stones. And, I'm not immature.
Have they
They're
separated?
separated
Yeah.
now.
Tariq is not going to abandon the plan, and this bush is going to start trailing that guy. He's going to start walking past the tree line and keep this plan going
Sure.
to start heading towards, like, around the periphery, maybe following him, the younger kid.
Yeah, for sure.
And if he does, like, turn around, he's going to plonk himself down as well. Like, he does not let up from the plan.
Okay. What are the three of you doing?
Tariq, what are you doing?
No one suspects the bush.
Zhang, I got your back.
We just discovered their Earth Kingdom. We don't have to hide.
I don't want to lie about who I am. Is that going to be an issue?
No.
Well, we'll find out.
We know what we're fighting for.
Okay. Well, then I think we should just announce ourselves to the camp, she says as she looks at the bush walking along.
So then at that point, hearing that, he'll stand up. So he's got the bush around his midsection, got legs poking out the head. He's considerably, like, I believe he's in between the rest of the party and this kid.
Absolutely.
And he's going to turn around to you guys and say, wait, so we telling who we are now?
The young kid will turn around and be like, Bush!
Man! Hi!
Hi!
I'm Tariq. In a bush. It's not my name, but it's what I'm doing. How are you?
I'm well.
Yeah? Sorry that this was this is a kind of weird. Context is needed. But should I just take the bush off, or are we safe here?
Can you?
Can I be safe?
No, take the bush off.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, do that.
Do you want it?
No.
Okay. I'll just leave the bush here, and he steps outside the bush. Is that better? Oh, I brought friends.
We'll step from the tree line.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, but did you catch your name? Can I have your name?
He panics, and you see like fear strike his face, and he goes, "I was right! I was right!" and starts running back to the camp. Wait! People!
We're Earth Kingdom.
Should I get back in the bush?
No.
You have been listening to Homeland, which is a Roll2Cast production. The best way to find us is on Twitter, Discord, and our Patreon. All our podcasts are on Acast, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Roll2Cast. Avatar Legends, the role-playing game, was created by Magpie Games. Nickelodeon, Avatar, and all related titles, logos, and characters are trademarks of Viacom International Incorporated.
I think